Breakfast on day 40.
I was just saying, I got nothing. It's oh, we got a late morning. It's almost 8, and we slept in. I slept badly. I think he slept badly again. That's just the way it's gonna be. We've got to get used to it. Last night, the freaky thing was there was almost no noise at all, and so I don't know what that was all about. This morning, not getting a lot of bird song either. This place kind of has a weird feel to it. We'll be at a hostel tonight, and we have a really short day. Now, what I don't like to do is I don't like to say what the day is going to hold, because we never know what the day is going to hold. We just take it as it comes. No expectations. That's the key to happiness. One thing I liked about yesterday's hiking was that there were uphills, there were downhills, you know, a lot of them. But the good news was that the uphills were fairly short, so by the time you got to the top and then started down, you could recover. And I felt yesterday like I had my trail legs, but I think that was just seriously a very gentle, easy trail. Well designed, cushiony, and just rolling up and down. So you get to the top and you're wiped out, but you recover and you're feeling good by the time you hit the next one. So now, if I can do that on a 2,000-foot climb, then I'll have my trail legs. Quarter after 8, day 40. We were walking away from the tent site just now with a Nero.
Yesterday we spent probably a quarter of the day on beautiful farm roads like this one. But you know, as is the fate of the AT, the trail actually goes that way up and over the mountain. I'm not sure why the trail designers didn't pick this wonderfully groomed road around the mountain, but we're gonna touch every white blaze along the way, so up we go. Almost, well, south-southwest. We're looking at Unica Mountain, so we were there a couple days ago. And then as you track the horizon, over here to the south is Roan High Knob, and then to the south-southeast, behind the clouds, are the Roan Mountain Highlands. So Jane Bald and all those balds that we crossed over in the last couple of days. So we can see pretty much our last 3 days of hiking from this spot.
It's raining. We haven't had much rain, so this is actually, we're not going to put on raincoats till the rain feels bad, and right now it feels just fine.
Yeah, it feels comfortable. We've got about an hour to go before we're, hour and a half, before we're at the lodge. So
might be a nice afternoon to be tucked in.
Could be. So we're about a third of a mile from the turnoff to Black Bear. We're entering our day in a light drizzle. It actually feels really good. The air is cool and crisp, and the rain is nice and cool. So in about 20 minutes, we'll be checking in.
It really smells good too. We're getting down in lower elevation, and as our favorite haiku master would say, the rain has polished the air. It's clean, and there's a beautiful fragrance of flowers. We've got an old barn. I see this barn has a tin roof. I have a real soft place in my heart for old barns, being raised out in the country, raised on a farm. And I'll tell you what, if we were in there right now, we'd hear that rain thumping on the tin roof, and it's just the sweetest sound. We are hanging out in Bear's Den. We're at the Black Bear Resort, and we got here early, so we can't quite get into our room yet, but it's getting close. So we're going to spend that time wisely by eating ice cream sandwiches, and we've got a pizza in the oven. And it's been raining for the last 2 hours, so you know we're happy to be here. But it wasn't a bad rain.
No, it's pretty wet though.
Yeah, it's nice that we're going to have the whole afternoon to relax. The descent, as descents are, it doesn't challenge your breath, your lungs, your heart, your cardiovascular, but it's hard on the joints. It's hard on the knees and the hips and the ankles and the feet. So it'll be nice to put our feet up for a little while. Cheers.
Cheers.
Short day. Felt good.
Really short day. What, about 8.9 miles?
Yeah. I told you it was a Nero.
Yeah, we camped at a stealth spot last night. It was really nice. Up on the hillside. It was
freaky. Like it had a freaky vibe. I don't know. It just felt like, I don't know, it was a little creepy.
Yeah. It was different.
But I mean, it was a pretty spot. It was flat and definitely secluded.
It was very isolated.
It's funny because there's enough weekenders out that over Saturday and Sunday there was like a conga line going up to Grassy Bald.
Right.
It was crazy. But you know, come Sunday afternoon, everybody went back home, and man, we're getting to the point where if we meet somebody who's on a through hike, we get kind of excited because we've only met, I think, 3 now.
3, yeah.
In 100 miles.
Yeah.
Is that all right? 100 miles?
Yeah, 3.
It is. Okay. Oh, 80 miles.
Yeah.
80 miles. I'm looking at, there's a sign over here that says we're at mile marker 420.1.
Which is actually the intersection 0.6 miles down the
Right,
road.
0.6. But you know, on a short day like this, we didn't mind the road walk. Although I will say that I don't like walking on asphalt very much. I'm a little spoiled.
But what a nice little gift this place is.
And this has been very nice.
Black Bear Resort.
People are so accommodating and charming, and we like their backstory because he's a veteran, and so they've lived all over the place just like us.
Yeah, but Linda and Travis are very good hosts, and they're taking good care of us. We've got a comfortable place to sleep, a dry place to sleep, because it's going to rain tonight.
Yeah, now that's the downside. We've had these glorious days, and those never last forever. Yeah. And we have to just, acknowledge that we had our pretty days, and now we're going to have our rainy days for a while.
Yeah.
That'll be okay. Actually, it'll be pretty nice because tomorrow night we're staying in another hostel.
Yeah.
That's the one where our car is sitting, where we've got a resupply box. We've been able to do a pretty good job of social distancing.
Yeah, we haven't had to get close in by anybody. We've not used shuttles except to get to Irwin.
Yeah.
And then
we haven't gone into any towns. We have not visited Dollar General or any drugstores or Walmarts or anything.
We pre-positioned all of our supplies. Although it's not like visiting a store is going to be any different than visiting a store where we live. So as long as we take the appropriate precautions, we brought our masks, we've got all that gear, so we'll kind of honor the places that are open, and
they're all very grateful for the business because this is their livelihood. So I'm glad that our dream coincides with their dream.
And every hostel owner we've talked to has related how devastating it's been for their business to.
I think the numbers are about 10%. They have 10% of the business that they've had in past years. I can't even imagine how you budget for that.
Yeah. And I want to actually thank Ramdino. There's something that Ramdino said a couple of days ago, actually last week, on his Mother's Day broadcast, which I thought was really insightful, and that is getting your head into the game when you're restarting a thru hike is different than getting your head into the game when you're starting out for the first time. The restart is actually a lot harder.
It's funny because Early Riser had something in his video about if you can get to hot springs, and he talked about there's this honeymoon period that everybody goes through, and everything's pretty, and you're taking pictures, and then comes the next 170 days where it's just the same day after day after day. So those two had the same message.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that while we're on the trail.
But I think it's really important to think about that. If you're considering coming back out, it's very different.
Especially now.
Before.
Yeah, especially now because, we would meet people around the dinner table at the shelter, and we'd trade stories, and then we'd hike with those same people for 4 or 5 days, or, in one case, Rock Flipper, we were together for about 2 weeks, I think. So now it's a very lonely journey. But we didn't come out here to build like a big social family. We didn't come out here for the hiker feeds. We didn't come out for the trail magic. We just came out to walk. We just like that part. We like the walking. And I like watching the seasons change. There's a beautiful poetry to each day. And I'm sorry that I missed 54 days of the change in the forest.
It has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's green.
It's not so freaking cold.
True. We haven't found any ice and no snow.
There's no icicles from the little water sources now. They're all just tumbling rivers.
But again, we found a nice place to land for tonight. We'll get up in the morning and we'll crank out another, a whopping 8.9.
Yeah. And we're going to have a pizza tonight, and we're going to have a microwave breakfast tomorrow, so we should have plenty of energy to get going.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Pond Mountain. and Laurel Falls. And I was looking forward to Laurel Falls, but now in the rain it's going to be not quite the same. So I'm glad we got Jones Falls yesterday, and what was the other one? Mountaineer Falls.
Jones Falls, Mountaineer Falls,
and Hardcore Cascades. Yeah, so 3 beautiful waterfalls. But Laurel Falls is a real landmark around here. I would say that this section we've been on, maybe starting at Carver's Gap, would be a section of the AT that I would highly recommend to anybody thinking that they just want to try it out. You don't even have to camp out. You can do this entirely supported by the hostels along the way.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fun.
And see some of the most beautiful terrain so far.
The best of!
Yeah.
You'd get the Roan Highlands, you'd get those waterfalls we had yesterday, you'd get Laurel Falls, and then you'd walk around Pond Mountain and go through Hampton. Which we are not going to do.
No.
And why?
Up and over.
Every white blaze.
Every white blaze.
And mountains for breakfast.